My friends, I want you to imagine something with me for just a moment. Imagine waking up tomorrow morning and feeling something you haven't felt in a long time. True peace. Not just the absence of trouble, not just a fleeting moment of calm before the storm, but a deep, unshakable peace that carries you through every hour of the day. Imagine stepping out of bed with a sense of purpose so strong that no fear, no doubt, no setback could shake it. Imagine waking up in the morning and feeling completely at peace. No racing thoughts, no anxiety about what the day holds, no weight of the past pressing down on your chest, just a deep, steady calm that carries you forward. Many people long for this kind of peace, yet it often feels out of reach. Life is unpredictable. One day everything seems fine, and the next, unexpected problems arise. Bills pile up, relationships get strained, health declines, dreams seem delayed, and the peace we desire seems to slip further away. The world teaches us that peace is the result of everything going right, that it comes when problems disappear, when success is achieved, when we finally reach a place where nothing can disturb us. But the truth is, if we are waiting for the perfect conditions to have peace, we will never find it. Peace is not the absence of trouble. It is the presence of something greater in the midst of trouble. It is not something that just happens to us when life is smooth. It is something we choose, something we cultivate, something we hold on to even when the world around us is shaking. Some of the most peaceful people in the world are not those who have never faced hardship, but those who have learned how to carry peace with them no matter what comes their way. They have discovered that peace is not dictated by external circumstances, but by an internal decision to trust, to surrender, to focus on something bigger than the problems they face. Many people wake up every day consumed by worry, allowing stress to dictate their thoughts before they even get out of bed. They replay past mistakes, dread future uncertainties, and carry burdens that drain them of the energy and joy they were meant to have. But peace is a choice. It is the decision to say, I will not let fear control me today. I will not let the unknown steal my joy. I will not let the weight of yesterday rob me of the beauty of today. That choice is not always easy, especially when circumstances seem overwhelming, but it is always possible. There are moments in life when everything seems to be falling apart, when unexpected challenges knock the wind out of us, when doors close and dreams shatter. In those moments, peace feels impossible. The natural response is to panic, to try to fix everything, to stress and struggle and fight against what we cannot control. But what if in those moments we chose something different? What if we chose to step back and breathe? What if we chose to believe that even in the storm, there is still a steady hand guiding us, still a purpose unfolding, still a reason to trust? Some of the most profound peace comes in moments when everything around us says we should be afraid. It is the peace that a mother feels when she prays over her sick child, believing that no matter what happens, she is not alone. It is the peace that a man feels when he loses his job, but refuses to let fear control his future. It is the peace that comes when everything seems uncertain, yet there is an unshakable confidence that no matter what happens, all will be well. That kind of peace does not come from money, from success, from recognition, or from the security that the world offers. It comes from a decision deep within the heart to trust, to let go, and to believe that there is a greater plan at work, even when we cannot see it. The problem is that too many of us give our peace away too easily. We let the smallest inconveniences steal our joy. We allow one negative comment, one unexpected problem, one difficult situation to take control of our emotions. We wake up in the morning with good intentions, but the moment something goes wrong, frustration and worry take over. If we are not careful, we become slaves to our circumstances, letting the ups and downs of life determine whether or not we have peace. But it does not have to be that way. We can choose to protect our peace. We can choose to say, no matter what happens today, I will not let it shake me. I will not let it steal my joy. I will not let it take my sense of purpose. That does not mean ignoring problems or pretending that everything is fine when it is not. It means facing challenges with a different mindset, with a confidence that problems do not have the final say. It means reminding ourselves that no storm lasts forever, that no hardship is wasted, that even in difficulty there is something to be learned, something to be gained, something that can strengthen us instead of breaking us. Peace is not found in control. So many people believe that if they could just fix everything, if they could make life go exactly as they planned, they would finally be at peace. But the truth is, the more we try to control everything, the more frustrated we become. Life does not always go according to plan. People will disappoint us. Setbacks will come. Things will not always happen on our timeline. But peace is found in the decision to let go. It is found in trusting that even when we do not understand, even when we do not have all the answers, there is a purpose unfolding that is greater than what we can see. There are people who have been through unimaginable pain and still walk with peace. They have lost loved ones, faced betrayals, endured hardships that many could never understand, and yet they wake up each day with joy. How? Because they have chosen to see life differently. They have chosen not to be victims of their circumstances, but victors over them. They have chosen to release bitterness, to refuse to live in fear, to believe that even after loss, there can still be joy, still be purpose, still be life worth living. Every morning when you wake up, you have a choice. You can choose to let the worries of the world fill your mind, or you can choose to breathe, to trust, to focus on what is good, what is true, what is unshakable. You can choose to walk in fear, or you can choose to be anxious about the future, or you can choose to believe that no matter what comes, you are not alone, you are not forgotten, and you are not without hope. Peace is not something you wait for. It is something you decide to have. It is not something that only a few people get to experience. It is available to anyone who is willing to embrace it. It starts the moment you choose to let go of what you cannot control and hold on to the truth that no matter what happens today, you can still have peace in your heart and purpose in your steps. There is a longing in every human heart to know that life has meaning, that each day is more than just routine, that we were created for something greater than simply existing. Many people go through life searching for their purpose, waiting for a grand revelation, waiting for a moment when everything will suddenly become clear. They believe that purpose is something that must be discovered in a single life-changing event, that it comes in flashes of inspiration, that it is found in extraordinary achievements. But the truth is, purpose is not something that comes to us in one defining moment. It is something that is built in the small, everyday choices of faithfulness. Too many people believe that their lives do not matter because they have not done something that the world considers great. They look at others who have accomplished incredible things, who have changed history, who have built empires, who have risen to the top, and they think, what am I doing that really counts? But purpose is not reserved for a select few. It is not just for those who stand in the spotlight or those who achieve worldwide recognition. It is for every single person who chooses to live with faithfulness in the place they have been given, no matter how small it may seem. Some people waste years waiting for the perfect opportunity, believing that purpose will begin once they reach a certain stage in life, once they get the job they dream of, once they have enough money, once they finally feel ready. But purpose does not wait for perfect conditions. It does not begin when everything falls into place. It begins right now, in the middle of the ordinary, in the middle of the struggles, in the moments when no one is watching, in the places where faithfulness is tested. The person who wakes up early to provide for their family is walking in purpose. The teacher who shows up every day, pouring wisdom and encouragement into young hearts, is walking in purpose. The mother who wipes away her child's tears, who loves with patience, who sacrifices so much without asking for anything in return, is walking in purpose. The worker who does their job with honesty, even when no one acknowledges their effort, is walking in purpose. Purpose is not just about what you do. It is about the heart you bring to the work in front of you, about the love you show in the small, unseen moments, about the faithfulness you demonstrate in the tasks that others might overlook. There are many who feel discouraged because they believe their lives are insignificant. They look at their daily routines, their ordinary responsibilities, and they wonder if any of it really matters. But what if the small things are actually the greatest things? What if purpose is not found in extraordinary events, but in extraordinary faithfulness? What if the way you love, the way you serve, the way you give, the way you show up even when it's hard, what if those are the things that truly define your purpose? History is filled with stories of people who made an impact not because they sought greatness, but because they chose to be faithful in the small things. Some of the most influential figures were not those who had power, wealth, or fame, but those who simply lived each day with unwavering dedication to doing what was right. They were not concerned with whether or not the world saw them. They were not waiting for recognition. They were not looking for a platform. They simply did what they were called to do, and in doing so, they left a mark that could never be erased. Too often, people believe that purpose is about doing something big. But real purpose is found in doing the little things with great love. It is found in the way you treat people, in the way you remain honest in a world full of shortcuts, in the way you refuse to give up even when no one is cheering for you. It is found in the moments when you choose to keep going, when you keep believing, when you keep trusting that your life is making a difference, even when you cannot see the full picture. There are times when faithfulness feels unappreciated. There are times when it seems like your hard work is unnoticed, when it feels like no one sees what you are doing, when it seems like your efforts do not matter. But purpose is not about being seen by the world. It is about knowing that what you are doing matters even if no one acknowledges it. It is about trusting that every kind word, every act of integrity, every moment of perseverance is shaping something greater than you can imagine. Some people spend their whole lives searching for purpose, when all along it was right in front of them. It is not about waiting for the right opportunity. It is about making the most of the opportunities you already have. It is not about chasing something in the future. It is about being faithful in the present. It is about realizing that what you do today, how you love today, how you serve today, how you remain steadfast today, that is what builds a life of true meaning. No act of faithfulness is ever wasted. No moment of perseverance is ever unseen. No choice to do the right thing, to love with sincerity, to serve with humility, to keep pressing forward even when it's hard, none of it is in vain. Those are the things that create a life of purpose. Those are the things that change the world, not in loud and dramatic ways, but in steady, quiet, powerful ways that can never be erased. Some people believe they have missed their purpose because they made mistakes, because they took wrong turns, because they feel they have nothing to offer. But purpose is not something that can be lost. It is not something that only a few get to experience. It is something that is always there, waiting to be walked in, waiting to be embraced, waiting for a heart that is willing to say, I may not have everything figured out, but today I will be faithful. Today I will do what is right. Today I will show up with love, with integrity, with perseverance. And in doing so, they will find that purpose was never far away. It was always right there in the everyday moments, in the unseen acts of faithfulness, in the quiet choices that shape a life of true significance. There are moments in life when the weight of the past feels unbearable, when memories of mistakes, regrets, and failures whisper that we are not worthy of a fresh start. Many people live trapped by what they have done or what has been done to them, believing that their past is a prison, locking them into a future that will never be different. They wake up every day carrying the burden of shame, convinced that no matter how hard they try, they will never outrun their history. But the truth is, no failure, no mistake, no broken chapter in your story has the power to define what comes next. There are those who have walked through deep disappointment, who have been betrayed, who have made choices they wish they could erase, who have suffered losses that change them forever. And in the quiet moments when the world is still, the past comes rushing back, whispering lies that say they will never be free from what has happened. But the past does not hold the pen to your future. You are not bound by yesterday's mistakes. You are not forever marked by what went wrong. Every day is a new beginning, an opportunity to rise, to heal, to rebuild, to step into the life that was meant for you. Some people believe that because they have failed before, they will fail again. They allow the wounds of yesterday to shape their identity, to dictate their choices, to convince them that they are unworthy of hope. But failure is not final. Some of the greatest stories in history are written by those who fell but refused to stay down, who made mistakes but chose to learn from them, and who endured hardship but did not allow it to define them. Strength is not found in perfection. It is found in the courage to keep going despite the scars. There are people who have been told that they will never amount to anything, that their past disqualifies them from ever having a future of purpose. Words spoken in anger, rejection from those who should have loved them, painful experiences that have left deep wounds. These things try to convince them that they are not enough. but no one else's opinion has the power to define your destiny. No label placed on you by the world, no mistake from your past, no hurt inflicted upon you can determine who you are meant to become. You are not your failures. You are not your struggles. You are not the worst thing you have ever done. Some people look at their past and see nothing but missed opportunities. They wish they could go back and undo certain choices, take back words spoken in haste, rewrite moments that shaped the course of their lives. Regret can be a heavy chain, keeping people stuck in what could have been instead of what still can be. But no one moves forward while looking backward. Life is not found in what is behind you, but in what is ahead. You cannot change the past, but you can decide that it will not steal your future. There are those who have been broken by circumstances beyond their control. They did not choose the pain, the loss, the hardship that came their way. They carry the weight of things that were never meant to be theirs to bear. But even the deepest wounds do not have to define a person's life. Healing is possible. Restoration is real. The past may shape you, but it does not have to break you. There is still life to be lived, still joy to be found, still purpose to be fulfilled. It is easy to believe that once you have taken the wrong path, there is no way back. But grace is real, redemption is possible. The doors that seem closed forever can open in ways you never imagined. No matter how many wrong turns you have taken, no matter how lost you have felt, there is always a road that leads to a new beginning. The past may have been filled with brokenness, but the future does not have to be. Every great story has moments of struggle, of hardship, of pain. But what makes a story powerful is not the difficulty. It is the overcoming. It is the decision to rise when everything says to stay down. It is the refusal to be defined by defeat. It is the belief that no matter how dark yesterday was, tomorrow can still shine. The past may have been full of storms, but storms do not last forever. The sun still rises. New seasons still come. The story is not over yet. There are those who need to hear that they are not beyond hope, that their past does not make them unworthy of love, of redemption, of a new start, that what they have been through, no matter how painful, does not have to be where the story ends. Scars do not mean a person is broken beyond repair. They mean they have survived. And survival is not the end of the story. It is the beginning of something new. No matter what has been, no matter what has tried to hold you back, the future is still unwritten. The mistakes of yesterday do not determine the victories of tomorrow. The failures of the past do not disqualify you from a future filled with hope. There is more ahead. There is still a purpose for your life. There is still something worth fighting for. You are not finished yet. The past does not define you. The choices you make today do. And today you can choose to believe that the best is still to come. The way a day begins has the power to shape everything that follows. Each morning is a fresh start, a new opportunity, a blank page waiting to be written. But too many people wake up without direction, carried by the rush of routine, reacting to life instead of intentionally shaping it. They reach for their phones before they reach for purpose. They let distractions dictate their thoughts before they have a moment to set their hearts on what truly matters. Instead of beginning with clarity, peace, and purpose, they allow stress, worry, and outside demands to take control before they have even taken their first steps. But life is not meant to be lived passively. Each day is a gift, and it is meant to be lived with intention. Waking up with intention means deciding before the day even begins what kind of person you will be, what kind of attitude you will carry, what kind of energy you will bring into every situation. It means making the choice to start with peace rather than pressure, with purpose rather than panic, with gratitude rather than anxiety. Too often, people rush into the day, letting their schedule dictate their emotions instead of taking a moment to set their hearts in the right place. But the way a day starts determines the way it unfolds. A morning filled with worry leads to a day filled with stress. A morning centered on peace leads to a day lived with clarity. Some people wake up already feeling behind, already overwhelmed by responsibilities, already consumed by the pressures of life. They allow the weight of yesterday to follow them into today, dragging their past mistakes, their unfulfilled expectations, their frustrations into what should be a new beginning. But no matter what happened the day before, each morning is a chance to reset. It is a chance to breathe, to realign, to remind yourself that today is not yesterday, that the past does not have to dictate the future, that every sunrise is an invitation to begin again. Living with intention means recognizing that every day holds the potential to shape your life. The choices made in the morning, what thoughts you entertain, what words you speak, what priorities you set can either bring you closer to the person you are meant to be or keep you stuck in patterns that steal your peace and purpose. Some people say they want change, that they want to live with greater purpose, that they want to experience more joy, but they continue to start each day the same way, rushed, distracted, filled with worry. Change does not come from wishful thinking. It comes from intentional action. It comes from deciding before the noise of the world creeps in who you will be and how you will approach the day ahead. A day started with gratitude unfolds differently than a day started with frustration. A day started with faith unfolds differently than a day started with fear. A day started with clarity unfolds differently than a day started with confusion. Every morning, before the demands of the world press in, there is a sacred opportunity to set the tone for everything that follows. Too many people give away that opportunity. They let their first thoughts be dictated by stress instead of strength, by distractions instead of purpose, by worry instead of wisdom. But it does not have to be that way. Each morning, there is a choice to pause, a choice to reflect. A choice to set the course before the day begins, pulling in every direction. People often underestimate the power of small, intentional actions. They believe that transformation comes from big, dramatic moments. But the truth is, real change begins in the quiet decisions made every morning. It begins in the decision to rise with purpose rather than pressure, to focus on what truly matters rather than being consumed by what does not. It begins in the commitment to guard your mind before the world fills it with noise, to speak words of encouragement rather than negativity, to set an intention for the day instead of letting the day dictate your direction. Some people wake up already feeling defeated, believing that the challenges of life are too great, that they have no control over what the day will bring. But living with intention means refusing to be a victim of circumstance. It means waking up and deciding no matter what the day holds that you will meet it with strength, with grace, with wisdom. It means choosing your response before the challenges come, choosing your attitude before circumstances try to shape it, choosing your focus before distractions try to steal it. There will always be reasons to worry. There will always be distractions. There will always be things that threaten to steal peace before the day has even begun. But there is also always a choice to start with faith rather than fear, a choice to focus on what is good rather than what is uncertain, a choice to begin each day with the belief that no matter what comes, you will walk through it with strength, with clarity, with purpose. The way a person begins their day is not a small thing. It is the foundation upon which everything else is built. It is the first step in the direction of a life well lived. It is the difference between a day that is filled with meaning and a day that is lost to distraction. The way a day begins determines the way it is lived, and when a day is lived with intention, it has the power to shape a life filled with peace, purpose, and fulfillment. So let this be the moment that everything changes. Let this be the moment you decide that you will not live another day weighed down by fear. Let this be the moment you choose to wake up each morning with a heart that is full of peace and a spirit that is ready to walk in purpose. Because when you do that, my friends, there is no limit to what your life can become. There is no limit to the impact you can make. There is no limit to the joy, the fulfillment, the strength, and the peace that will fill your days. So go forward, live boldly, live with purpose, and never, ever forget. You were made for this.